guys, welcome back to the channel. And today what we're going to be talking about are these pre-war Pullman cars, the Lionel pre-war Pullman cars. This car was one of a set of 3, as they usually are. I picked this up at a train show, all 3 of them for $5. They all looked just like this, all in the same condition. So they were repainted really badly, undersides as well. They were all lit cars, which was kind of cool. But the couplers, or the latches if you want, they were all in pretty rough shape. As you can see, this one's been installed upside down. I think between all 3 of them I had one good coupler, and that's about it. So really what I want to do with these is I'm not going to go for a full-on restoration. I'm not going to put the decals back on and get the proper color scheme or anything. I'm just trying to strip off this paint, get some new paint on, get them looking decent so that I can run them around the track and add them to the Pullman cars that I already have. So I've already started the process with the other 2. As you can see, I've got this stripped right down. All of its bits and pieces are here. And the roof is hanging off camera over that way. But what I'm going to do for the sake of this video, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to walk through the steps of taking this thing apart, stripping it down, and applying the paint. Probably break it up into a couple videos. So for this first one, what we're going to do is we're just going to take this apart, because it can be a little bit tricky if you've never done it before. And I feel that there's a good way to do it without breaking a lot of tabs, because this thing is all held together with tabs. It's not screwed, it's not molded, it's stamped metal, tabbed and crimped together. So we're going to start with this one, and we're going to start by taking it apart. So the first bit is real easy. It's the roof. As you can see, I started sanding a little bit on this one before I decided, hey, this would make a good video. One screw in the top of the roof, just undo that, and you've got your roof free, like this. So you can see the original paint is still inside on this roof. So these were the green cars. There's the original outside color, and there's the original yellow that the windows were. So like I said, I'm not trying to go back to that. I'm just trying to clean it up. So anyways, one screw takes off the roof. We don't need to lift these tabs up to take this piece out. I'm going to leave that as it is, but I am going to remove this socket for the lamp. Not with a pointer. That's not going to work. No, we're going to try a flathead screwdriver. So we're just going to move this screw, put it in my magnetic cup with the rest of the bits and pieces right there. And get the holder out, and that's, wow, that's rough. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do here, we can pop these trucks off. And they're held in by these little washers here. And when I was taking off the other ones, I found that it was just a matter of popping them up. They're not the clips like the post-war that have that U-clip that comes around and can close up at the one end. These are a little different. A little weird, actually, to tell you the truth. So we're going to just flick them off like that. Put them off to the side, and the truck will just drop out. Same on the other side here. Just getting the flathead underneath it and pop it up. I really don't understand the setup with this, and when I go to replace these, I'm not worried about keeping them or trying to save them, because I'm just going to go ahead and use the actual post-war clips, because they're so much better than these things. And of course, these will be all twisted to heck by the time I'm done. That shot off. Oh, there it is. So if you look at the truck itself, the post that sticks up, it still has the notch where the post-war clip will actually fit into it and hold it in. So that's the wheels. We're going to put them off to the side. Get these old clips, and we'll just hang on to them for now. So that's it there. Got the roof off, we got the wheels off, or the trucks rather. Now to get these latches out, as you can see, this may be upside down, but this has been at least inserted properly. So they have this tab at the back that's kind of been twisted. Once the latch has been inserted in, it's been twisted. The back tab has been twisted to hold this in place, sort of. So what I want to do is I want to twist that back to get the coupler or latch out. And I don't just want to grab it with a piece of pliers, and I don't just want to grab it with pliers and just reef on it, because that's going to break that tab off. I want to try to save it if I can. I may not. It may not work, but we're going to try it anyways. So I'm going to heat up my soldering iron. And what I want to do is I want to apply some heat to this metal, which will soften it up just a bit, that I can twist that back tab and hopefully not break it off. I'm going to use the same approach for these other tabs here that hold on these windows and seat parts. And I don't know, I might not take the ends off. I don't know if I'll get that far into it. We'll see. But for sure, this and these here. So while we're waiting for that iron to heat up, we can kind of go over all the points where this is all being held down. So we've got a tab here, and there's another tab here, and there's one and two, oh, there's four, sorry, very inconveniently placed, I don't know if you can see it through the window, underneath the seat. So right under here, there's one there, 2, 3, 4. I think that's all of them. So they're kind of down by this part here. Not easy to get out. Not easy at all. It's a bit of a trick. And I had 2 other chances to get it right. So I'm not going to say I know what I'm doing, but I've got a good idea. So I think my soldering iron is heated up nicely right now. So all I'm going to do is just hold it against the tab to heat it up a little bit. And then once it's ready, and I'm not looking for glowing red or anything like that. I know it's going to get heated up enough just by holding it. If the whole latch gets hot, it'll be more than ready. So that should be good there. Just a little bit of heat, put the iron back down, and quickly get onto it. And slowly turn this. Nope, she broke. Which is kind of what I was going to expect. Yeah, so I can still grab that. Anyways, so that's not surprising. The metal had been twisted so far, and it had been twisted the wrong way as well. There is a right way and a wrong way, and this one was in wrong. So it doesn't surprise me that that tab didn't survive. So this whole latch now, there's nothing you can do about it. Once this breaks, that's it. So you have to get a new latch. So we'll be doing that a little bit later. With that out of the way and not having to worry about it, we're going to move on to these tabs here. So like I said here, for the upper part, we've got 1 and we got 2. And there's also 2 over on this side here. So I'm going to do the same thing with them. I'm going to apply some heat, soften up that metal so that it will bend. And I'm not worried about these tabs breaking, because these ones aren't overly twisted and completely out of whack. like the other one was. All I want to do is I want to get it in a position where I'm getting a good amount of the tip of the soldering iron on the tab to heat that metal up. And this is also the way that I take the front cover off of the Lionel diesel horns. They have little tabs folded around from the back, like little fingers that hold on the faceplate. And you can get that faceplate off, but it's a little bit of a process, and this is definitely part of that process to make it easier. So now that I've heated that tab up a little bit, I can just push it back real easy. That was super simple, and get that out of the way. I'm going to do the same to the other side here. Just holding the soldering iron to it. And also, for the sake of this video, I mean, if you're trying to restore one of these, obviously, you don't want to touch the paint, so I'm doing it in a way, I'm angling the soldering iron in a way that it's not resting on any of the paint, so that it doesn't mess up the paint, is what I'm trying to say. So that should be enough for that side too. Just get the screwdriver in there. And just lift it back out of the way. And I want to get it straight. I don't want to just bend it a little bit so it's not an angle like this. I want it straight so that this piece will come right out. Now, the other ones. So they're way down low. Very inconvenient. So we kind of have to get them through the doors and through the windows. So the easiest ones right off the bat are the ones on the end. And I can actually see that they're lifted up already. This one is anyways. This bottom one, this next one isn't, neither is that one. So my soldering iron trick isn't going to work with the ones underneath because you can't really get the soldering iron to it. I mean, I can get it in there, but it's not really connecting with anything that well. And if you're going for a non-destructive repair, I'm hitting the bottom of this seat, which is burning the paint. And that's not what you might not want that on your repair. So what I'm going to have to do in this case is I'm going to have to be very slow in lifting up these tabs underneath so that I don't snap them off. Now, they're not thick metal by any means. They're just like tin. So if you line up the screwdriver well enough, you can just kind of flick them out of the way. And I really wish I could show you better, but it's just not going to happen. So we're going to get some light in there. There it is. Got that one. Is that enough? Will this let go? No. Still got one more to go in there. And where is it? There you are. No, can't come in from that side. Maybe get a longer flathead here. Maybe if one of you guys has a longer screwdriver that you might be able to insert in through this door, that will make it all the way to all of the tabs. I don't. And the reason it's not working is this tab on this side is actually bent this way. So I can't get to the lip of it through this end. I have to come in on this side. And obviously I can't. We got to kind of make do with what we got here. I got 3 of the 4 tabs out. Oh, and there we go. Now I can show you the troublemakers. So here's one. There's another, there's another, and there's another. Okay, so it's just 4, so I wasn't looking for anything there. Huh. And we got this piece out. So we're just going to put that off to the side and repeat for side 2. All right, so that was easy. So there. Now we have the 2 windows, side windows and seats out. So they'll need to be cleaned up. And now we're just looking at the shell. So once again, as I'm looking at this, you know, I think I might try to take the ends off of this one. Maybe more for just for the sake of the video. Because with the other one, I didn't need to. Worked out well. I was still able to get some spray paint in there. Definitely more paint than this one ended up having. As you can see, the floor is still bare metal. Well, they seem to have cleaned off all the paint to give it this chrome look inside, I guess for the sake of the light. So, just like with the windows, same thing. We're going to heat up these tabs, soften them up a bit, bend them out of the way, and then take the end plates off. Okay, so that is the second end off. Again, keeping those tabs straight because it's going to be much easier to put the whole thing back together when they're perfectly straight up instead of curled back in. So I see there's a little bit of rust removal I got to do on this here. It's not too bad, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a wire wheel for that to clean that off, but not right now. So right now I'm going to put away my iron. Now that it's cooled down, we're ready to go. We've got our 2 ends, we've got the main body, the roof, and then we have the windows. So all the parts are taken off of this now, and of course, the trucks. What we're going to do now, move those out of the way, and bring in my paint stripper box. So what is in this box is this simple green. I've been using this now for about a year to strip the paint off of all of my Lionel locomotives. The die-cast ones, I haven't had a reason to use this on a plastic diesel yet, or plastic shell locomotive. But I can tell you for the post-war metal stuff and for the pre-war metal, this thing works great. You just soak the stuff in it for, even after like 3 to 4 hours, it strips the paint right off. If you leave it in overnight, the paint will actually lift off and start floating around in the container. And this container was actually used to strip these guys, the other 2. And this simple green's been sitting in this bin for months. And it's still good. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop the pieces in. Make sure they get all covered. And I'm just going to leave it in there. And that's it. Get your fingers in there. It's perfectly fine. I'm going to let those sit in there for a couple days, 1 or 2 days. There's no real urgency for them. And then once those are done, I will put the main piece in, because I'm going to have to do that a side at a time. And the bottom too, because the bottom's been painted silver. And once all that's done, I'm going to get the wire wheel, and we're going to do some finishing of removing any rust that's left behind, any of the thicker caked on paint that didn't just float off while sitting in the bath. It'll come off real easy with the wire wheel. And then we're going to be ready to hit it with the primer. So we just close up that lid right now and just put this off to the side and let it all soak. And I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what everything looks like when it's all done and put back together. And there is a little bit of orange peeling or fisheye going on here, and unfortunately that was because I reached the end of the spray can, and I guess some of the propellant that was in the aerosol can came out and made this mess. But again, I'm not looking for a showroom finish with this. I'm not going to sell these, so these are going to be good enough for me. The only thing I'm not sure of is what color to go with. Since I'm doing these on a budget, and I'm really only doing them for myself, I don't want to spend a lot of money on them. And I don't want to go hunting down specific Lionel colors or specific colors for the Pennsylvania Railroad or New York Central or whatever. I just want to go for what looks good. And I mean, this green isn't too bad. I'm not totally displeased with it. I like it much better than the original green that these things were. This lime, whatever that was. Looks like an old Mopar color. But I'm thinking right now I might go burgundy. I really like the look of the burgundy cars. If I can come across some burgundy paint on sale, that would be awesome. And I still think I want to keep the windows the second color. I don't want to make it all one uniform color. The one thing I really want to show you guys is this flat black roof. Now this, it originally was green, just like the rest of the car, because that's the primer I had. But when I ran out of the primer and it started shooting out all of this solvent and messing things up, I found some flat black primer and paint. But you know what? I think that looks pretty cool. I really think that looks sharp. And on top of these, on top of this green, I think it really finishes the look of the cars. But I'm wondering again if in burgundy, if that might not even look better. So I'm guessing the plan right now is I think I'm going to keep these flat black roofs, even though they don't match the other Pullman cars that I have that are in the original condition. It doesn't matter. They just look too good to change, I think. So with the flat black, I think I'm going to go with the burgundy body and probably still that cream, yellowy cream type color for the inserts here. But, you know, put down your thoughts in the comment. You know, I'd love to hear your suggestions for colors and your ideas on it, because maybe I'm overthinking this, or maybe I've overlooked something that would look even better. Love to hear what you guys got to say. Don't forget to hit the like if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave some comments. You know, I love hearing what you guys have to say, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care, guys.